Well-to-do, happy family, and then I'd say within a year from that time, I remember kind of our lives falling apart. Well, my father lost his business, lost his home, lost everything, and that's when my father committed suicide. From there, my sister and I were taken away from my mother. She was declared incompetent. She had become an alcoholic and she wasn't able to take care of us. So we were placed into foster care and then into an orphanage. And then that's when I tried to commit suicide and was locked up in an institution. And so at 12 and a half, I tried to take my own life. Well, these guys found me sleeping in the hallway, and it turned out that these 4 guys that were all living there, they were drug dealers. And so they said, if you want to stay here, you got to work. You deliver the drugs, we'll pay you and we'll feed you, and you can have all the drugs you want. So yeah, at that point, I was 14, almost 15 years old, and I just looked at my life after living on the streets for a couple of years, and I just said, you know, I'm going to end up becoming a junkie, and I just cried out to God. And I said, God, if you're really real, would you help me? You know, that night when I got saved, my life just began to turn around. I mean, I quit doing drugs. I went through high school. It was supposed to be 4 years. I went through it in 3 years, became an honor student. And I got to say, it was one of the best times of my life. By this time, I'd met Margot, who's now my wife. We were high school sweethearts from 16 on, and we just started talking about what we wanted to do. And my foster father had become a financial planner. He said, Jeff, he said, you'd be great in sales. He said, you're such a good people person. He said, you know, why don't you come to work with me? Well, you know, typically in the sales business, the way that they motivate you is say, go get a new car, go get a new house, you know, all the outward trimmings. And the idea there is that they get you with such a sense of obligation that you have to go sell. And so I fell into that because these were my mentors. And all of a sudden at 24 years old, I find myself credit card bills, 2 car payments, a house payment, a financed life. I'm frustrated at 24 because I'm sort of like, how do you get ahead? I mean, how do you get out of debt? I just didn't know, and that's when I cried out to God. I said, God, there's got to be a better way. Would you please guide me and open up a door for me so that I could personally become debt-free and personally, you know, learn how to become financially independent. And if I could really understand this, I would devote my life to teaching this to people. 2 weeks later is when I went to a financial seminar. I just sat there amazed, and it was like concept after concept that they taught. I thought, that's the answer, that's the answer, that's the answer. Yeah, I want to do that. So some of the basic principles that we learned, just like in the course, we started applying these principles, found out that they work, they're actually simple, they're easy to do, but here's the key: the daily disciplines that you do determine your future. So from age 24, I was broke, discouraged, despondent about money. By the time I was 31, I'd become a millionaire. So the biggest principle I learned in there is it's actually easy for God to get money to you. The question is, can God get money through you?